Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with a brand new show reaction. This is Witch Hat Atelier, or I think the Japanese name is Tongari Boushi no Atelier, episode 1 and 2. So both the episodes I'm going to react to. I think both episodes came out, and that's why I'll be reacting to both the episodes. First, obviously, episode 1, then episode 2, and then I'm going to talk about both the episodes. So this is something that I've heard a lot of good things about, and I've seen the trailers as well. It looks very interesting, and it is something related to like magic, which is also something that I really like. Fantasy elements in animes are my most favorite, like genre, you could say. So I'm looking forward to this, and yeah, let's see how this show is. So let's get started. Also, you've probably understood from the way I'm talking about this. I have no idea. So which means like I have not read the manga or any, if this has some other source material which I don't know. I've not read any of it, so I'm kind of going in blind. The only thing I've seen is the trailer and the synopsis. So yeah, let's begin. So, episode number 1 reaction first. I will put the timer here, sync the original video to the timer, and watch it alongside my reaction. For people who, obviously, there's no like subtitles or anything I'm giving. For people who don't know, like, my channel got into a little bit, not a little bit, but quite a bit of trouble. So, until that trouble gets resolved, I'm not putting any subtitles or anything. And, just only the timer will be given. So yeah, bear with me until that trouble gets resolved. Yeah, then I'm going to resume with my subtitles, I'm assuming. Either way, yeah, so let us get started. So yeah, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Interesting. She's talking about witches, and at the same time, she's talking about astronauts. Like, do these type of things exist in this world? Because usually in fantasy worlds, Okay. Yeah, interesting looking insect. Oh, she's washing. I was like, what is she doing? Oh, oh, damn. Wow, interesting. Hmm. Right. That's why it's magic. Hmm. Well, right. Well, it is flying. Oh, damn, what the? Oh, wait, is that are the horse's ears wings? That is crazy. That's a very different type of Pegasus. I've never seen a Pegasus having their ears as wings. Hmm. Um. Right. What's happening here? Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, that's her name, Coco. More colored fabric. Hmm. What? Oh, okay. For a moment, I thought she didn't. Okay. Oh. Right. Damn. Without any type of like ruler or anything? Just. Right. Yeah, I was saying. Hmm. Damn. Storm is going on outside. Hmm. Witch wearing a mask. That insect again. Whoa. Oh, um, right. That's nice. Magical picture book. I wanna be a, I wanna be a witch. Bruh. Yeah, people are born with. Yep, as they said. Oh wow. Oh damn, it's not lighting up anymore. Yep. Oh, what the? Oh no, the Pegasus are going crazy. Right. What? It crawled underneath. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Oh, the hat. I'm a wizard. Right. Mr. Witch. Shouldn't it be wizard? Okay. Magic. Yep. Oh wow, it's like the Grateful Train, right? Like, oh, you shouldn't peek. But I'm interesting. Oh my god, you guys should chill. They're trying to sneak in. Like I said. She's like, when you if you are watching, why can't I watch? Right. There you go. Oh, Hmm. Oh. Right. So that's how you cast a spell by. Hmm. That's a very interesting way of, it's a pen. Yeah, you draw it. Wait. Oh, I thought he realized that. Right. Never mind me. Okay, let me guess. She's going to try to draw magic now using that wand. Not wand, that's a pen, I'm guessing. Hmm. Oh. Alright, here we go. Yeah, she'll try to draw. Hmm. Oh, there's ink in there as well. Damn, that ink didn't dry up. I guess it's like magic ink, so. Okay, so one thing. I'm assuming she'll be able to cast magic with this? If so, then the whole thing that how people are born with magic is false, right? Like anyone can do magic then if they are able to properly, as they said, concentrate and draw like this. I don't know. Well, you know what? We'll see. Okay, nothing's happening. Oh, you need to connect it, I think. You haven't connected it. There you go. Wow. Right. Okay, so like I said, so that means anyone can do magic as long as they can, or maybe you need like a particular like book or a pen. Oh my god. I don't think you should just randomly use magic like this. Who knows if there's an explosion spell or something, whole house is gonna blow up. Weekly one lasts longer. You're gonna trace it? Yeah. Is that even allowed? I think maybe. Oh no. Oh my god. I don't know. It was just there. Oh god. Whoa! Wait, what is that? Crystals? Oh my god. Oh no! Oh my god. So the person who gave it. Okay, it is a special ink. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Well, Yeah, which? You're a wizard, Coco. A witch in this situation. Oh boy. Damn, I was not expecting her mother to get caught up in that. Okay, I think that's it for this episode. Yeah. Alright, let me start episode number 2. And then after this episode ends, I'm going to talk about both episodes. Alright, episode number 2. Let's begin. Here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Damn. You can just call it like how we call for cabs. Right, it's at Hogwarts. Oh, okay. Oh, it is. It is. Okay. Kind of. Yeah. Okay. Right. The School of the Grassland. Godbriar. Okay. I see. Well, after all of that happened. Hmm. So this random person gave her this forbidden spell book and a way to. Interesting. Wow. That's water. Yeah. Well, where the hell did she pop out from? Right. Ah. Oh, wow. Wow. What if you directly put your hand into it? Yeah. Wow. Thank you for thank you. For thank you. For thank you. Riche. Hmm. Yeah. Well. Hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they. What? Oh, the forbidden spell. How did they know? We barely arrived here. Oh, I guess, like. Oh, that already got. Like, they already know about it. Ugh. Ah. Hmm. Okay. Anyone can do magic. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Oh, so they took their memories. Interesting. Hmm. That was okay. One thing. This seems like a very what can I say? Like the fact that you can, the fact that you can just manipulate other people to just draw something, and it's just going to. Okay, I'll talk about this later. Like what I'm trying to say is like it seems like the security is pretty low, right? Because like even though the memory has been taken, this spell casts directly upon the human. Oh. Hmm. Even healing. Hmm. The pattern will change and hence new magic will form, right? And you can change the. Yep. That's very clever, you could say. Like it's already the pattern is engraved, and if you like move it in certain directions to make certain patterns, it'll have different effects. Window way. Oh. Oh. Um. Oh damn. Wait. For librarians. Right. Hmm. Hmm. And someone there? Okay. Roommate? Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. This is a roommate. Damn. Right. So the symbols are engraved in. Oh, they know about that as well. Right. Well, Damn. Um, Damn. Test already tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, right. they, they thought they're gonna have something different because. uh, oh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay. That's nice. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. Damn. Three elements. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, so unless and until you put the final border, it's not going to. So it's like a switch, the outer one. So. There you go. Yeah, you need to connect it. Ooh. Hmm. No, water. the the direction was okay. Ah. Oh no. Wait. What is that symbol? That sigil? Just do a wind. A wind magic. Well, one of them is like longer. Yeah. That's why it just shot towards that direction. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, you take care of her. Hmm. Hmm. Um. Yeah. Right. Hmm. Wait, whose voice is this? Very familiar. All right, and there you go. That was episode number two. So episode one and two. Right. Um. So let's talk about the first episode. The first episode, we get to see how like this world is like. So what everyone knows is basically that magic is something that people are born with, and only those people can be witches, and they are the ones who can cast spells. That is the reason why, like as we get to know later on, that apparently anyone can use magic, but they just need like a specialized ink and like a proper, like, like to make proper symbols. um, that was hidden. That is the reason why. That, you know, because if people saw that, they'd be, they'd realize that, oh, then you can like draw spells like that. That is why the process of casting the spell is kept hidden from, ordinary people, obviously. Now, a few things I kind of felt a little bit weird about this is the fact that how, like, like how loose the security is. For example, first and foremost, it's a very big deal that if people get to see how you're casting this spell, like you're drawing it, people will automatically be like, oh, maybe I can do it as well. Should I try? Something like that they'll probably think. And a lot of people will probably realize that, like magic is not something that you're born with. You can do it if you have like these specialized inks and stuff, you know. So that is the reason why they keep it hidden, right? They keep the casting of the spell hidden. That's why Keyfrey was like, oh, I'm going to cast a spell. Do not look inside. But how loose the security was something that I kind of got very surprised with, because like Coco literally was able to see, and I thought that Quifre would realize that Coco saw that. He didn't even realize that. So literally a little kid was able to figure, like, kind of sneak and like look into the whole thing and saw the whole thing like happen. So that's number one. Number two, another thing that I felt very weird about this is how, like, that you can literally, what happened with Coco can literally happen with anyone. Like, some random person like sold some other person like a magic, like a picture book or something, as they told. Obviously it was not picture book, it was like a, like filled with like hidden, like forbidden spells and all. And along with it, a wand, like a little pen kind of thing with specialized ink. So literally anyone can do that and like tell someone or trick someone into drawing those, like, things and activating the forbidden spell. So, obviously, like, they took away the memories, as they gave us the explanation later on, that they took away the memories of the fact that anyone can draw magic. They took that memory away to keep, like this thing a secret, and so that people don't exploit it. But like, it is such a, what can I say? It is such a, like, this whole process of making magic is such an easy concept that you can trick other people into, like, like doing magic, like how, like, with what happened with Coco. So again, it seems like the whole security part of this is very loose here in this situation as well. But at the same time, I guess, like, you cannot really do anything in this situation. Like, what can you do? Like, I guess they did their best into making people forget it, and they're trying to regulate the fact that nobody gets to know. But this whole concept of drawing magic is such a, like a, like, it's a thing that literally anyone can do. So it is way more difficult to keep it in regulation and make people not realize that, oh, this is how you can do magic. Like, it is such a simple thing that, oh, you need this special pen, you this not pen probably, but special ink, and you need these symbols, and you can literally draw magic. Like, it is such a, like, easily available thing to people. Like, usually, like, like magic and stuff, you have to like say some kind of spell, like learn a lot of things, learn maybe like the laws of magic, or like other shows I'm talking about, maybe make some symbols, like, these kind of things, or you need to have like inherit, like, inside a body you need to have like some sort of like mana or something, you need to like learn how to like use the environmental mana to do magic or something. Different, like like animes, different like stories have different ways of casting magic, which are way more difficult and I would say complicated than here, as we are seeing in these first two episodes, where you can draw magic. you know like anyone who's like a good artist or something, if they get their hand on this ink and these symbols, they can literally do magic in this situation. I don't think you need to be a good like person who can draw well either. We saw in the later part, Coco literally sketched the thing. Anyone can sketch. Anyone can trace, not sketch, sorry, trace. Sorry, I made it. Like Coco traced the thing. I'm pretty sure anyone can trace something. Like tracing is not that difficult. So even if you're not like artistically gifted or anything, you can still do magic in that way if you just get your hands on that symbol and the ink. So I do wonder later on, maybe they'll explain that there's more to this. Like, oh, not everyone can do magic, but you need to be this or that, like, or something. Because this seems very, very easily available to other people. Like, literally anyone can do this, it seems like. Which makes it, I feel like, way more easier for evil people to like use and manipulate to make the whole world go into chaos, I feel like. So the fact that everything is so damn peaceful is making me think, how is this possible? Because if it is so easily like available, this how you can do magic, if it is that simple, then anyone who has bad intention can manipulate this thing and manipulate other people to do stuff like this that they did with Coco, and literally just make the whole world go into chaos. So that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, how is this possible? Like you saw how like like everything is just so peaceful and everything, and nobody really knows how magic. Like people who do not use magic, they have no clue that they think like, oh, magic is something that you are born with, and that kind of thing. And not only that, just think about it like this. Even if you know that you're born with magic, sometimes you get that curiosity and you'll be like, ah, let me just do something like draw something. And if a person like that, as a person who's trying to put this whole world into chaos, if you find someone like that, you can just give them that ink and be like, go ham with it. And then they'll just like what happened with Coco is going to happen with them as well. Like it's just so easy to like manipulate this whole thing. It seems like for people who are like, for bad people, for evil people, it's so easy for them to just manipulate this whole thing, it seems like. But the fact that things are still like in order, either the people who are like the good mages, as we see, either they're extremely competent, that they're just they're just not letting any kind of, like, they're always keeping eye on everything, and like like if something goes a little bit different, they immediately go and like take action or something. Either they're extremely competent, or there's a lack of people who wants to harm the world, in this world at least. Otherwise, I feel like there's so many different ways to just manipulate this whole thing, that this whole world would go into chaos, because it's so easy to do this. So anyways, like I just wanted to talk about it because it seemed like this whole process is something that, like, the fact that anyone can do magic if they have the proper tools for it is something that is just very interesting. Right. Either way, so yeah, the first episode we get to see Coco, who wants to, who's very fascinated with magic, and in when she was a child, she came across this person who gave her a book, like a picture book, and this person was like, oh, this is like a picture book, and this is like a wand for you, a magical picture book. And yeah, and Coco was very fascinated about magic from that point onwards. And that's interesting because if you think about it, that would mean that someone like this person who gave Coco the book and the wand, I'm assuming this person, uh, had bad intentions. Otherwise, why would they give her like a book with forbidden spells, right? As she's a kid. But at the same time, this is the same person who actually made Coco realize her love for magic, I guess you could say. You know, because this is the part where she was like, oh my god, magic is so cool. I want to be a witch when I grow up. This is the start, you know, like the person who gave her this, like this, she's the one who gave her this whole thing. Like now, like she got so fascinated by magic that she's going to try to pursue magic, and whatever happens in the later part of the show, like everything will be, the reason behind it will be this person who influenced Coco. But at the same time, this person gave her this forbidden spell book, so I'm assuming she had bad intentions. But someone like that made Coco realize what she wants to be in the future, like her obsession of being a magician or a mage, whatever you call it. Witch, sorry. Right, either way. So yeah, and this is where we meet Quifri as well. We get to see Coco lives with her mother. Her father, I think, died, right? She said, yeah, passed away. Um, and her mother like has like a a shop, like a clothes shop or something, like a tailor shop. I don't know, something like that. I think. Either way, um, she here we meet Quifre, who comes and asks Coco. Well, not asks Coco, but who wanted like a something, some kind of like a cloth or something, and Coco draws and does it so well that he was pretty impressed. He was like, damn, you actually, like, because she was like drawing without any ruler or anything. She just like made like a measurement and she just drew like this, like, very like beautifully like drawn, and just, and as he said, like she has amazing concentration, that's why she was able to do it that way. Either way, um and yeah, and this is where disaster strikes, where the Pegasus horse gets, that whole thing happens, and Quifre like fixes it by drawing magic, and Coco gets to see it. And Coco's like, oh, wait a minute, you don't cast magic spell, you draw it. So maybe she gets her picture book, she sees the symbols, she gets her pen, which she thought was a wand up until now, but it's a pen. And now she's like kind of like, okay, let me try. And she starts sketching one after the other, and first one was like a little sparkler kind of thing, and then like a little fire spell, but then finally what she did was like a forbidden spell that she drew, or she sketched. Right. Yeah. And Quifri came at the nick of time, realizing like, something was wrong, and he came, saved her, but her mother gets caught in the crossfire in this whole thing. And now Coco wants to be like, at first Quifri was like, oh, I'll have to raise your memories, but Coco's like, no, I have to save my mother. If I forget about this, who's going to save my mother? Yeah. And now he's like, all right, then you have to become one of us then. Otherwise, like, we cannot just let you just roam about with all these memories and everything. So yeah, become one of us. Become a witch. So yeah, that was the first episode. The first episode, yeah. And then we have the second episode where we get to see Coco travel with Kifre and we meet like some new characters. These people will be like her fellow apprentices under Quifre, and then we also meet this other girl at the very end. Not at the very end, but like the person we find meet at the end. What was her name? Ko something Ko. Uh, just a minute. Agatha. Yeah. So Agat, who who seems like she's very particular, and and I guess cannot really blame her, because she, as she said, she's like we have been like using our like blood, sweat, and tears for so long to like learn magic, and finally we got accepted, and you just barge out of nowhere like this, and yeah, so she's kind of like saying stuff like that to her. um so either way, now Coco will have to prove herself, as we see at the end, where you know in this tests that will be happening, she'll have to prove herself. Agot also kind of challenged her, you could say, like a small little challenge, like, oh, you have to show me, like how much worthy you are, that kind of thing. The other two girls seems nice. Like at first when they got to know that she's the one who used this forbidden spell, they were a little bit scared, I think you could see. But I'm assuming Queefy after that kind of explained it to them properly. And then the next scene we see they're pretty chill with Coco, so yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about here is the way they apply the magic is very interesting. So basically, since you draw these things, you can already draw on surfaces, like pre-draw them, and then use them later. And since these needs to be connected, there's so many different ways you can use these magic, like, and it's very versatile. For example, how we have like switches for like electrical appliances, you can do the same for the magic by using two surfaces to draw a whole symbol. So basically, as we saw Agot's shoes, you can see her shoes were like, when she was flying, her shoes were like attached, like she was kind of like putting her shoes together, which completed the symbol underneath it. It's of two halves, so if you take your shoes apart, your legs apart, the connection gets severed. It's not a symbol anymore, so the magic stops. Using that and putting your legs together and taking them apart, you can fly whenever you want and stop flying. Like there's so many different things you could see. Like Kifre had like a window where there's like the patterns are already carved, but you just rotate the different layers to make different symbols, doing different magic, with that. So these type of things, it's very, like I said, it's a very interesting, like a versatile way you can use magic, because you can actually preload it, basically. Like, like one thing we see in animes which has magic is like where they say like, oh, you have to like give like an incantation, you have to draw a magic circle and all that. So all these things consume time, and when you're casting a magic spell, either you have to like cast the whole thing and then the magic will start or something. Here, however, you can pre-draw it, so you can just draw the full thing and just keep a little gap at the end, and somehow when you're casting the spell, just connect it, and bam, you get a magic spell immediately. Like, there's a lot of interesting ways you can use this because it's drawn. You can already kind of draw it, and just in clever ways you can just connect the drawing and use immediately. You can use magic spells like that, something like that. Another thing they kind of showed, where like the basics of magic Wifre showed us. So the middle part has the sigil, I think they said something like that, which is the element, like what you're using, like a water or like fire or something. Then the middle part has a direction, so whatever direction you point towards, that is the direction that the whole thing will, the element that you use will go towards. And that's not all. We have the final border after that, which is like the on off switch. Unless and until you draw that and connect it properly, your magic spell will not activate. So that means this like a you can say it's like a security measure. Basically, like, while drawing, you will not accidentally just activate your spell. Like, imagine you're drawing like a fire spell or something, and your face is like close to it, and you accidentally activate it, and your whole face just burns off. That won't happen unless and until you put that the border at the end of it and properly connect it. You have to properly connect it as well. Another thing we saw here is where Coco's magic malfunctioned. The reason why is the direction that she put, one of them was longer. You need to keep that in mind as well, that if you are trying to do like a magic spell where each and every like thing is in equilibrium, you need to make sure the directions are all of the same sizes and are properly balanced and in opposite direction. So I'm assuming what they were trying to do, what Coco, what Coco was supposed to do was do like that water sigil, and then the directions would be like same size and in opposite directions, like this, like one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, like this. Each and every direction would be balanced. Then I feel like she probably would have made like a little water ball or something. If each and every direction was balanced properly in the inner side, then that would mean all the force of the water would be like inside, like this. Like each force like would balance the other force in the opposite direction, making like a water ball. But she put one of it so like long that that force became extremely like huge, and it just shot out like a water gun towards Agot. So different ways of applying the magic like that. Like you have to properly like draw the directions and everything. So that's also another very interesting thing. You can do some very interesting thing with this. Like I said, like so yeah. So that is what like we saw, and it's very interesting. Like I said, I feel like we're going to see some very good application of magic because of this in the future episodes, where these things will come in handy very much. Like small little like tweaks in the symbols or the directions is going to bring some very different applications of magic. Right. Now we also get a little bit of history of this world, where we get to know that everyone used to do magic before, but then people started using magic for evil, and then some people, like some people with conscience, as he said, stood together and made like a spell where everyone forgot about it, and they made people believe that people are born with magic, and that's how they sealed this whole thing. And this whole thing is a secret now. So any person who figures it out, their memory is either taken away or they have to join them, something like that. If they're not evil, obviously. Right. And yeah, I think that was it for this episode. Kiefer also said that like the magic that we use are all the magic that people use for good. Like so, like we should make something which is gentle and nice. That is what magic is. To help people, and stuff like that. Either way, after that, Coco got her equipment like pen and other stuff, and now finally we have Agot, who challenged Coco to prove herself. Right. Yeah, and there you go. That was it. That was episode number 2. So great episode. The first 2 episodes were amazing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more from this show. So let's see where this goes. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, and comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.